Reggie Bush, once a shining star of USC football and one of the most electrifying players in college football history, finds himself at the center of a legal battle that threatens to complicate his relationship with his alma mater. After years of controversy surrounding his Heisman Trophy and NCAA sanctions, Bush is now seeking restitution from USC for the legal costs he incurred while fighting to have his Heisman restored. What once seemed like a fairy tale return for Bush to the university has become an increasingly complex saga, with unresolved issues threatening to derail what should have been a celebratory reunion. The rise, fall, and fight for reinstatement. In the mid-2000s, Reggie Bush was the face of USC football, leading the Trojans to national prominence and winning the Heisman Trophy in 2005. However, his triumph was marred by controversy in 2010 when the NCAA determined that Bush had received improper benefits during his time at USC. The fallout was severe. USC was forced to disassociate from Bush, and he voluntarily forfeited his Heisman Trophy. For over a decade, Bush's name was omitted from USC's records, and his accomplishments were left in the shadows of NCAA sanctions. In recent years, the winds shifted, and USC made efforts to mend its relationship with Bush. The school officially welcomed him back in 2020 after the NCAA lifted its disassociation, and in 2023, Bush made headlines once again by filing a defamation lawsuit against the NCAA, seeking to restore his tarnished legacy. Central to Bush's claim was the argument that he had been wrongfully maligned and that the current name, image, and likeness landscape, which allows college athletes to profit from their brand, should have applied retroactively to his case. By April 2024, Bush achieved a significant victory when the Heisman Trophy was officially reinstated.
USC proudly hailed this as a step toward redemption for Bush, celebrating his resiliency and heart throughout the ordeal.
Discussions about his return to the Coliseum, the iconic stadium where he had once dazzled fans, began to gain momentum. USC's newly appointed athletic director, Jennifer Cohen, and even university president Carol Folt, were eager to reintegrate Bush into the Trojan family. Plans were set in motion for Bush to be honored at a USC football game, where he would lead the team onto the field, his number 5 jersey retired in front of adoring fans. A celebration postponed. On the surface, Bush's return seemed like a done deal. According to Bush, plans were definitely in the works for him to lead USC's football team out of the tunnel, a moment that would mark his full restoration as a Trojan legend. He had eagerly anticipated that day, envisioning his family by his side as he reconnected with the school and its fanbase. The two sides even agreed on a date for the celebration, USC's home opener against Utah State on September 7, 2024. But as the date approached, cracks began to show in what appeared to be a smooth reconciliation. Behind the scenes, Bush and his legal team had approached USC with a couple of significant requests before the former star could make his grand return. Bush's attorney, Levi McCathern, explained that two key issues were at the forefront of their concerns. First, they wanted USC to take a more active role in lobbying the NCAA to reinstate Bush's records. While USC had previously filed a joint petition with Bush to seek reconsideration of the NCAA's 2010 ruling, Bush felt that the school could do more to advocate on his behalf.
The second, more contentious issue was the matter of Bush's legal fees.
Over the years, Bush had spent a significant amount of money on attorneys fighting for the return of his Heisman and to clear his name. McCathern claimed that Bush believed USC should compensate him for some of these legal costs, especially since the university had also benefited from the return of the Heisman Trophy, which now sat prominently in USC's facilities, a valuable recruiting tool and symbol of the school's storied football tradition. Bush's legal team argued that USC had profited from his accomplishments and was now using his restored reputation to further its brand. McCathern explained, "Part of getting Reggie's Heisman back, we got the Heisman back for USC as well." According to him, it was only fair that Bush be reimbursed for the money he spent to fight for the trophy's return, especially given how much the university stood to gain from its association with him.
The breakdown: despite these requests, USC ultimately declined to cover Bush's legal fees. Negotiations reached an impasse. Just days before he was set to lead the Trojans out of the tunnel for the first time since his playing days, Bush's camp informed USC that the timing was no longer right. The highly anticipated ceremony was postponed indefinitely.
The situation escalated further when, on September 23, 2024, Bush's legal team issued a press release announcing that he was suing USC, as well as the NCAA and the Pac-12, for profiting off his name, image, and likeness without compensating him. The lawsuit accuses USC and the other defendants of reaping financial rewards from Bush's fame while he played for the Trojans, despite Bush receiving no share of the profits. The lawsuit also brings to light the broader issue of college athletes profiting from their NIL, a right that has only recently been granted to players. McCathern suggested that Bush's case could set a precedent for other former college athletes who were not compensated for their contributions under the old NCAA rules. Reggie could be the face of this step for other college athletes, McCathern said, hinting at the larger implications of the legal battle. A fractured relationship. USC, caught off guard by the public nature of the lawsuit, issued a carefully worded statement. USC loves Reggie, a university spokesperson said. Our fans love Reggie. He is at the core of some of the best memories in our storied tradition. The statement emphasized the school's continued support for Bush, noting that the university had worked diligently to have his Heisman Trophy reinstated and had made efforts to celebrate his legacy. However, the spokesperson acknowledged the disappointment in finding out about the lawsuit via a press release. While USC remains hopeful that Bush's relationship with the school can be repaired, the legal dispute has created a cloud of uncertainty. The once promising reunion now seems fraught with tension, as Bush and his attorneys argue that the university has not done enough to make amends. Meanwhile, USC insists that its support for Bush has been unwavering, despite the ongoing litigation.